YouTubers, welcome back to the Hobbit, chapter 12. We're at the dragon. Chapter 12, Inside Information. For a long time, the doors stood in the dark for the door to bathe, till less foreign sport. Now it is time for esteemed Mr. Baggins, who has proved himself a good companion on the long road, and a bit full of courage. And this was far succeeding his size, and I may say so, possessed of good luck, so far succeeding in usual allowance. Now it's time for him to perform the service for which he was included in their company. Now it's time for him to earn his reward. You are familiar with Florence style of modern occasions, so I will not give you any more of it, though he went on a good deal longer than this. It was certainly an important occasion. The Bibble found him patient. I know he was quite familiar with foreign too, and he knew what he was driving at. If you mean it's my job to go into the secret I was first of foreign and son who concealed. May you be even longer, he said crossly. Say so at once, and have done. I might refuse. I've got you out of 2 messages already. Which was hardly in the middle bargain. So that I am, I think, I'll use on the wood. But that time pays for all, my father used to say. Somehow, I don't think I should have used. Perhaps I have begun to trust my luck more than I used to in the old days. He met last spring before he left his own house. 15 centuries ago. But at any rate, I would do never peep amongst the gay level. Now, who's coming with me? He didn't expect a chorus of volunteers, so he was not disappointed. Vinny and Kitty looked uncomfortable, stood on one leg, but the others made no presence of offering, except Paul Baldwin. Look at man. I was rather fond of the hobbit. I said he would come inside at least. Perhaps a bit of the way too. I'd call for help if necessary. The most that can be said of Dorses is this. He intended to pay Bibble very handsomely for his services. They have on him to do a nasty job for him. I did not mind the poor little fellow doing it, if he would. But what have all it done the best to get him out of trouble? We got into it, as they did in the case of the trolls at the beginning of the adventures. Well, they had any particular reasons to be grateful for him to him. There is doses and not heroes. But calculating folk with great idea for value and money. Some are tricky and featureless. Many bad odds, some are not. We're decent enough folk like foreign company if you don't expect too much. The stars were coming out from behind him in the pale sky, barred with black, when the hobbit crept through the ancient door and stole into the men. Ugh. It was far easier going than he expected. This was no goblin entrance, a rough wood elf's cave. It was a passage made by horses, on the height of the elfin scale. Straight as a ruler, florid, and smooth-sided, going with a gentle, never-ending slope direct to some distant end, and blackness below. After a while, Bolin made Bibble good luck. Was up where he could still see the faint and in the door, and by a trick of the echoes of the tunnel. Hear the rush of the whispering noises of the others just outside. Then the hobbit slipped on his rein, and warned by the echoes to take one that hobbit's care to make no sound. He grabbed noisily down into the dark. He was trembling with fear, but his little face was set and grim. Already was a very different hobbit than the one who ran out without a pocket handkerchief and began long ago. He had not had a pocket handkerchief ages. He loosened his dagger with stealth, tightened his belt, and went on. Surely you are in for it, and as Bibble Baggins said to himself. He went and put your foot right in the night of the party, and then you got to pull it out and pay for it. Excuse me, what a fool I was and am, said the least tookish part of him. I have absolutely no use for dragon guarded treasures, and the whole lot could stay here forever. If only I could wake up and find Bixley Tunnel was my own from Toll home. He did not wake up, of course. But went on and on. Until outside the door had faded behind and faded away. He was altogether alone. Soon he thought it was beginning to feel warm. Said it was kind of below as he see coming right down. There he thought He was, as he went forward and grew and grew. There was no doubt about it. It was a red light, steadily getting redder and redder. Until it was now undeniably hot in the tunnel. Mr. Vapor floated up and past him and began to sweat. The sound, too, began to throb in his ears. A sort of bubbling, like the noise of a large pot gathering on the fire. Mixed with a rubble as of a gigantic tomcat purring. This get to the unmistakable haggling noises, some vast animals snoring in their sleep down there, and they go in front of him. Smog. It was at this point Bibble stopped. Coming out from there was the bravest thing he ever did. The tremendous things that happened afterwards were something compared to it. He fought the real battle in the tunnel alone, before he ever saw the vast danger that lay in wait. At any rate, the short halt one he did, and you can picture him coming to the end in the tunnel, nothing unless it seems eyes he hits the door above. Though it peeps, little hobbit's head, for him lies the great bottom, most cellar or dungeon hall, the ancient dozes, where the mountain's root. It is almost dark, so that fatness can only be dimly guessed. And rising from the near side of the rocky floor, there is a great glow. A glow of smog. There he lay, a fast red golden dragon, fast asleep, on fumbling marine. Came from his jaws and nostrils, and whiffs of smoke. But his eyes was low in slumber. Beneath him, under all his limbs, and his head caught it, and his ears caught it, coiled tail. And about him, on all sides, stretching away from us unseen floors, lay countless piles of precious things, gold and one, and no one, gems and jewels, and silver red tainted, and the ruby light. Smog lay with wings folded, like an immeasurable bat, turned partly on one side, so that hobbit could see his under deep parts. On his long pale belly, clustered with gems, hands ago from his long line, his costly bed. Behind him, on the walls for years, could daily be seen cuts of meal, helms and axes, swords and spears hanging, and there in rows stood great jars and vessels filled with love that could not be guessed. To say that Bibbo's breath was taken away, no description at all. There was no words left to express his segment. Just meant change the language, and they learned of elves in the days when all the world was wonderful. People and heard tales saying of dragons was before, but it's wondered that the lust, the glorious such treasure, had not yet come home to him. His heart was filled in peace with enchantment, and with the desired doses, and it glazed motionless. Once regained the rightful guardian, I had to go up behind Price and Camp. He gazed for what seemed an age, for drawn almost against his will, himself in the shadow of the doorway, across the floor, to the nearest edge of the mental treasure. Above him the sleeping dragon lay, and dire menace, even in his sleep. He cast a great, steel-handed, gold cup, as heavy as could carry, and cast one fateful light upwards. Smoke stirred the wing, opened the claw. The rumble of his storm changed his note. And Bibble fled. But the dragon did not wake, not yet. I shifted into other dreams. Greed and violence. Lying there in the stolen hall, on the little hobbit toiled back up, one tile. His heart was beating. More feet did, was shaking his inner legs. Then he was going down. But still, he clutched the cup, and his chief thought was, I've done it. This will shut him. More than closer than the murder indeed. Well, we should hear no more of that. Nor did he. Baldwin was overjoyed to see the hobbit again. And yesterday, as he was surprised, he picked Bibble up, carried him out to the open air. It was midnight in the clouds that covered the stars. Then Bibble lay with his eyes shut, gazing think, pleasure, and feel the fresh air again. Finally noticing the excitement in Dorses. Well, they placed him and patted him on the back, for themselves and their families for generations to come at his service. The Dorses was still passing from hand to hand. And talking delectably of the coffee of the treasure. When suddenly a vast rumbling woke in the man underneath, as if it was an old volcano. I made up it's mine. Started options once again. No behind them was pulled neat to that and closing with a stone. Right up the long tunnel came the dreadful echoes from far down in the depths, a bellowing and tinkling and made the ground beneath them tremble. And the doses forgot their joy and confidence boosted a moment for Kraken and fright. Smog was still to be reckoned with. It does not leave a life dragon any calculations if you live near him. Dragons may not have much for use for all their wealth, but you know limited to ants so rule, as he had the one possession. As Mug was no exception. He had passed from uneasy and it was a warrior. He had an insignificant size, and lay with a bitter sword, great courage. It was unpleasantly to a dose, and from a dose to my awakening. And it was a breakfast, strangely in this cave. Could ever get dropped from that little hole? And I never felt quite happy about it, although it was so small. Now he glared at it, suspicion why he had never plucked it up. Of late he had fancied and cut the two angles of him, knocking down from below, and came down through it to his lair. He stirred his chest, full of his neck to sniff, then he missed the cup. Thieves! Fire! Murder! 'Tis the thing that had not happened since he first came to the mountain. His race passes description. The sort of age that is only seen when rich folk have more than they can enjoy and suddenly lose it. Something they have long had but never had used before or wanted. That's why he belched. For all smoke when you shoot the man roots. And thrust his head and veins a little hole. Then holding his life together and waiting like a thunder underground. His bed runs deep lair from his great door out into the huge patches of the mountain palace and up towards the front gate. To hunt the whole mountain until he caught the thief and torn and trampled him was his one thought. He issued from the gate. What? Frozen fierce. Whistling steam. And up he soared, blazing into the air. And sailed on the mountain top and spread a green and scarlet flame. Roses heard the hopeful murmur of his flight, and like that's near the walls of the passy terrace, cringing under boulders. Somehow they escaped the frightful eyes of the hunting dragon. There they would have all been killed and had not been forbidden again. Quick! Quick! he gasped. The door! The tunnel is so good here. Well, Spidey's words, they were just about to creep inside the tunnel when the okay, my cousins. Uma and Bullfla. We haven't forgotten them. They are down the valley. And me, Dane, and all the ponies too. Unless those us won't know this. We can't do nothing. Nonsense! I'm fine. Come in as D. I cannot eat them. Couldn't say Mr. Veggins and Bolland. Are you two feeling kitty? I'm begging. Shan't have all of us. Now, you others, roll the ropes. Be quick. Those were perhaps the worst moments they had been forget. The horrible sounds of Smog's anger were echoing in the stony hollows far above. At any moment he might come blazing out of by a moment around. I find him there, near the precipitous cliff edge, holding madly on the ropes. Upkeep them for, and I was to say, upkeep them more. I've been blowing on the ropes, squeaked. Still all safe. I have keys and tools and bundles of stores. And danger was upon them. A very nice was sight, a red light touched the points of stained rocks, the dragon came. They barely had time to fly back to the tunnel, all in decorating the bundles. A smoke came hurling from the north. Looking the man's eyes of flame, meeting his great aims from the noise like a wild wind. His hot breath shriveled the grass before the door. And drove in through the crack they had left and scorched them till they'd hid. Making fires each up him. Black shadows dance. The darkness fell as he passed again. The pony squeaked with terror, rushed the ropes and galloped wildly off. The dragon swooped, turned to pursue them, and was gone. The three the end of a poor beast that flew in. One thing can escape Smog once he sees it. There we are. And here we shall have to stay. To anyone fancies airplane 1 open miles back to the room with Smog on the watch.